Welcome to this week's episode of Humans in 5. This week I'm on my own and excited to share some personal news. As of last month, I started at the University of Toronto as an assistant professor in evolutionary anthropology. I am over the moon and extremely excited to get started with this new chapter. As I've changed from being a researcher to being a professor, I've faced some questions from people curious about what this new role means for me. Some people ask, do you just teach? Others ask, well, if not, then what else do professors do? Fundamentally, the role of a professor is to teach students at the post-secondary level, to conduct new research, and to share results from this research in journals or books. To tackle the first question, I sure do teach. While I don't have a huge amount of in-class hours, it can take a lot of time to adequately prepare a university-level course for anywhere from 20 to 200 students. Course material constantly needs to be updated, and advising undergraduate students in their coursework represents a large component of a professor's job. Graduate teaching, supervision, and thesis committees are also a big responsibility for a professor. Professors are also expected to be involved in university committees and administration. For example, there are committees on how the undergraduate programs are structured, on how funding is distributed, and on how the department can improve on broader social issues like enhancing diversity and increasing equity to accessing higher education. I also spend a considerable amount of time trying to discover more about how humans and our bones respond to different factors during our lives. At research-intensive institutions, professors are expected to keep building knowledge and to share our research by publishing articles on our findings. We also get to go to events like conferences where we can share even more information and learn from others investigating how humans live their lives. These roles and responsibilities have been pretty consistent for professors over the decades, but some changes in recent years have us rethinking the role of the modern professor. Now, in the past, professors taught most of the courses, with a handful of short-term contract lecturers and instructors plugging in the gaps. In a greater number of universities, particularly in the United States, short-term contract teaching has soared in recent years. This strategy helps universities keep their hiring costs down, but it also results in continuity issues for students who may face new lecturers and content year after year. It also keeps a lot of teaching faculty in precarious term-to-term employment, which can be really difficult. This switch has raised some questions about whether or not full-time university professors are in danger of becoming a rare commodity in universities, and how that might impact how universities function long-term. Another question about how professors operate in this day and age relates to how we share research and ideas. Publishing papers remains the gold standard for professors, and often our ability to publish impacts our careers in a big way. But people are increasingly questioning if professors should work harder to share our information and research outside of the academy and the few specialized professionals who might be really interested in our work. Some of us address this issue by using outreach and communication strategies to help share our work a bit more broadly with the world. There are some debates about whether or not this should become a mandatory component of being a professor. No conclusions yet, but it's certainly interesting to see how the role of a professor may continue to change in the future. I know I enjoy sharing my love of anthropology with all of you viewers, and I'll see you next time on Humans in 5. Don't forget to subscribe!